What's up, guys? Welcome to the James Boudreau podcast, where I sit down with people from all walks of life to talk about their stories, experiences, and ideas. This podcast is brought to you by Watson Motors, the official studio sponsor. If you're in need of a Jeep, Ram, or Dodge, or whatever, these guys have you covered with great deals and even better service. So hit them up in Manistee, Benzie, or Ludington, or check them out online at watsonmotors.com. Listen, support the people that support the show. Now let's get into it. Segue. What the fuck is he doing? Also, kid show. Gonna keep the F words down because YouTube does not like the F words in the first 5 minutes.
In the first 5 minutes?
You get past the first 5 minutes and you're good.
I'll set my watch.
But also, I gotta clean it up a little bit. So.
I like the conversation. Casual F-bomb doesn't kind of like
it. Doesn't bother me either, but
yeah.
It bothers YouTube. All right, so let's talk about the 5K that you're putting together. Let's speak to that a little bit. And you can move this however you want.
For sure. Thank you. It is. Yeah, so the plan is the Manistee Hospital has been doing this Paint the Town Pink pretty much for many years ago, and a long time ago we started doing that, and it's kind of changed hands as who's running it, but we've taken it over, I think, recently the last couple of years, and the foundation, it's all to benefit breast cancer awareness, support survivors. They give money to the community, people that need it, they give them money to help cover costs of anything breast cancer related, treatments, etc. The 5K is a recently new development that we're trying to do this year. It's going to be our first inaugural one. And the date is set for October 4th, and it is hopefully going to be something we can continue to do year in, year out. And I'm hoping that we can get it going. This year is going to be the first one. We're still kind of in the last little planning stages, but once we get the okay from the city, once we get the old website up and running, we're going to start marketing it all. So
okay, cool, because I was going to ask you if there was links or anything that I could put into this.
Yep, it will be the run sign up. We're just using that to help sign up for everything. So it won't be hopefully too difficult to get you doing, but when we get that live, I can let you know too. Yeah. We're just kind of waiting on the final okay from everything.
So where did the idea of the 5K come from?
My manager, actually, Esther is her name. She wanted to do it, and me, I'm a runner. I'd like to go run around this town. So she was like, hey, would you be interested in taking this on, to kind of being the director of it? I said, sure. So I've run many 5Ks, many local 5Ks. I enjoy it. I think it's a wonderful fundraiser opportunity, of course. It's just fun to see the community come together. Mm-hmm. And the idea is that we have all the runners, all the spectators, everybody just wear pink. So we want pink everywhere. Right.
Nice.
So Run the Town Pink is the name of it.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And we're going to try and literally have everybody that's running run through Manistee donned in pink. As much as you want, really.
Yeah.
So,
and you got the route all set?
Yeah, we're still kind of nailing that down too, making sure that we're on the same page with the DDA and the city of, Department of Safety. But we're going to start and end relatively downtown by the fountain. And that's where we usually do our memorial walk anyways, so the big rock gets covered with a big pink tarp. You've probably seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
And
people sign it.
Yeah, you can sign it up and do all that stuff. So that's where we want to start and end, relatively around there. The route's going to be down by Manistee Beach, First Street, up Cherry, then we're going to loop through Manistee somewhere, probably around Broad Street or...
This episode is brought to you by Brandon Ball, broker-owner of Dwelling Realty, Keller Williams, Northern Michigan. Are you looking to sell your home? Then look no further. When you list your home with Brandon Ball, you'll get a trusted advisor who will guide you through the entire selling process. With extensive knowledge of the local market, he'll help price your home competitively to attract the right buyers. And with proven marketed strategies, your home will be seen by the most qualified of buyers. With 17 years in the business, you'll have someone experienced who's on your side. Contact Brandon today to get started selling your home. 231-690-4981. That's 231-690-4981. Or Brandon at dwellingrealty.com. This episode is brought to you by Trailhead Bike Shop. Trailhead Bike Shop is an old-school independent bike shop owned and operated by two supremely rad humans, Kyle and Lynette Nichols. They're a full-service shop offering quality bicycles while providing quality service at a fair price. They strive to provide great customer service and build relationships within the community. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. No matter what kind of cycling you're doing, be it on the road or getting after it on gravel, Trailhead Bike Shop is the shop you need to check out. You can find them at 216 West Ludington Avenue, Ludington, Michigan. You can get a hold of them at 231-845-0545 or trailheadbikeshop.com.
By Kennedy Bryant. One of those two. And then loop back down. But
it's a great time of year to do it, too.
October, nice and cool.
Yeah.
It's also a roll in the dice if it's going to be raining or not, but we're hoping that the weather's going to hold.
I mean, even if it's 50 degrees, which
right.
I don't think it will be on October 4th.
Right.
I think we're going to have an extended summer season.
Think so?
For heat. Yeah, just because I feel like the heat didn't show up until, you know what I mean? Till like July, till like 4th of July weekend, which was a scorcher.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we went through all of June and it was like, oh, when's summer going to come?
Yeah.
You know, now it hit.
And boy, is it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk for next year. I really want to run in this event. You know, it's the same time as my gravel bike race, but I really want to support that. I mean, we've done the walk every year, you know, which I think is going to be, you know, you're going to have, because there's a shitload of people.
Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube. That
it's not 5 minutes yet.
I know. What am I doing? There's a ton of people that do the walk.
Yeah.
You know, bringing them in would be huge. You know, that would help with the money aspect of it. You got an idea on how much it's going to cost to get into to do this?
The race, it'll be $30.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's great.
And we're going to give, bibs, and we hope that everybody can get the bib ahead of time, decorate it, draw on it. We'll hand out little survivor pins, and anything pink is pretty much all we're going for. We're going to have medals, finishing medals. And again, since it's our first inaugural one, we really don't know what to expect. Yeah. As you are probably aware of. Yeah. You know, you try to plan. So we'll have hopefully plenty of medals to cover all of the people. But as we start going live, as people start signing up, we'll have to adjust our numbers. But the idea is to have the tent downtown right in front of the marina. So we have like a DJ going, music going. We'll have the memorial walk right after. Everybody can share memories of survivors, and it should be a good event. Yeah. I'm hoping so. It's been something that I think was really large many years ago. There were a lot of great people that got it going, and it was really, really big. I think it's kind of shrunk in my opinion.
It's got a little bit smaller. Yeah. You know, it's when you try to do something annually, and especially with that's like fundraiser driven. Yeah. There is some fatigue that sets in, and I get that.
And that's, hopefully this run will give it another revitalized, and we have a great, wonderful community around here of supporters, and people from Cadillac I know have been talking about it, just because we've got Munson people everywhere, and we're trying to get as many people around as we can to come into town and check it out.
Yeah, Munson's got a thing. This was, I think, last year. I'm gonna forget the name of the gal I talked to who they have like a health thing for the staff. Like they encourage them to get into these outdoor recreation events, 5Ks and marathons and stuff like that. And I had talked to her at length about that. I gave Munson like a discount code for our race, do you know what I'm talking about, or am I just fumbling the football on this? But I did talk to a gal up at Munson or through email about this program that they do. So I guess what I should say is you're going to have a bunch of Run Club members, shout out to Manistee Run Club, that are probably going to do this, and then you've got your team at Munson that's more than likely going to. So there's going to be a ton of people. I think it's going to be great. I think you're going to be surprised. I think it's going to be over a couple hundred people. Yeah, which would be so rad to see that sea of pink.
Right. And we want people documenting it. So bring phones, take videos. We want as much display of it as possible. So I think it's going to be awesome too. We're really excited to do it. I'm hoping it does. I'm always trying to quell my expectations a little bit. You never want to set the bar too high, but I'd rather have this be a yearly thing.
Sure, and I think it will be. And plus with word of mouth, people are talking about it. I mean, I've been talking about it with other people since you brought it up. Actually, Tom Bush, shout out to Tom. He was like, hey, Kevin's doing this 5K. And I'm like, really? What's it about? And so he gave me the what for, and then we talked at that pre-run. Yeah. And I'm like, that's where I found out you're a DJ on the side.
All right. Yeah, I know.
Are you doing the DJing for this, or is that too much to ask?
No, I'm doing it.
Are you doing it?
I'll be there.
All right. That'll be fun.
Yeah. It's on the side. It's something I like to do. Little side project.
What are you doing, like weddings and stuff like that?
I am. Yeah. I got one this afternoon actually. So.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yep. Never
We'll have a
stops.
sidebar after this because
Right.
we're going to talk about how we're going to set up at Run the Pier.
For sure.
I'm so glad that you're doing that.
For sure.
Actually, that's a weight lifted off of Dylan's shoulders because he was panicking. He doesn't want to be on the mic anymore. So.
Seriously, a guy like that?
I know. He's like Mr. like clown hands. You know?
Yeah. He belongs with a microphone.
He does. I think he does a great job. But
Yeah.
I get what he's saying, you know, and you'll find doing your race that you might want to parse that off to somebody else to bring in where you're needed. Like, we're needed at base camp because there's always something going on where a director needs to be communicating something or putting out a fire or whatever. You might find that double duty might be too much. But.
Fair. Yeah. And it's going to be a learning experience, right? This is my first director official title job, and so this is going to be learning for me, and I welcome any advice from you and any other runners, of course. We try to make it as seamless and smooth as possible. You learn as you go along, as you're well aware, and I'm hoping that getting their ball rolling this first year, getting the route nailed down, and trying to build, like I said, a little bit of momentum going into the next few years. That's what we're going for.
Did you talk to Thummel at all?
I've reached out to Thummel a little bit, yeah.
Because like that Firecracker 5K, it's just like he's just got it dialed.
Yeah.
you know, it's like this is what you should expect. And then it's done.
Yeah, he reached out to me about it. And
good.
We haven't talked at length either because it's still, again, we're not trying to put the cart before the horse here.
Yeah.
Hoping that we can get things finalized in the next, at least month. Prior to that, hopefully.
Well, I've got a bunch of equipment stuff too that we will not be using for the Rusty Fish. So I've got plenty of stuff for aid stations. I've got tables. I've got igloos for water. I mean, you probably only need one aid station. And then, so lean on me too. And then
for
Eric, I think I was going to say with Eric, 1 year we were short on bibs.
Yeah.
And I made a phone call to Eric, and he was like, "Oh, I got a pile. They're not, they're all like a hodgepodge of old bibs, but if you need them," I'm like, "Yes, we need a pile of them." So he hooked us up with those, and and he's got stuff too that he just lets us borrow or whatever. Yeah. So there's, you could do this probably with just the shit that we have, stuff that we have.
No, it's 5 minutes. You're good now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped for you, dude.
Thank you.
I hope it really, I could see something like this because it's tied to, the hospital and what you're trying to do with breast cancer awareness and everything. I think that in itself is going to bring a ton of people. I wouldn't be surprised if you had 200 walkers.
Right.
So. Right. I do have extra bibs. I'll try to track those down just in case you don't order enough.
See, this is what I mean. Like how nice this community is. Like the perfect example. Talk to me, talk to Thummel.
They might say run the pier on them, but
whatever.
You'll have.
We got Sharpies and duct tape.
Yeah. No,
we'll make pink duct tape. Yeah.
So, segue just a little bit. How long have you been a runner? Has it been since school? Since high school?
Officially, yeah. Well, I started distance running in track middle school year. I was a 2 mile. That was when I first actually was like, hey, I can kind of do this. And then I was a little short plug for myself, 2 mile record holder for 1 year.
Let's go.
Yeah. And the record has since been broken numerous times. But 8th grade, 2 mile record holder for 1 year. And then high school, I moved into baseball. That was just more of my sport at the time. So I didn't really run much then outside of just sport running. After high school into college is when I started doing more running. And then since I've moved back to Manistee and even the last few years, I've really kicked it up a notch. Yeah. Trying to anyways. Yeah.
You kicked it up. It's a good follow on Strava. It's a good motivator.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Well, fuck. Oh, I almost said it. You took some time off a little bit. Were you injured or something?
I had a nasal surgery. I had a nose job.
And then
you can't tell.
But then you still came out and just marked a speedy 10 miler.
Right.
Right after that. I'm like, man.
Right. There's stubbornness and then there's stupidity. Sure. I'm border of both. I'm going to do this no matter what. Yeah. Almost to the point where it's stupid that I try to do a 10 miler after 10 days off and being laid up. But no, thank you. I did it. And now it's just trying to get back into summer form. I am not a winter runner. I am a fair weather runner, self-proclaimed. But
I was the stubborn guy for a couple of years. That was I'm going to run all winter. And this past year, I'm like, I just can't. I don't want to go out in the cold. So I did the treadmill all winter long, which I watched a lot of movies, but
it drives me nuts. I applaud you for your. I just can't do treadmills.
And
just,
dude, like the treadmill for me, it's selfish because it's an opportunity to just put something on that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Because my what I like to watch is not what my wife likes to watch.
No.
So I'm like, I'm one of those guys. I like Marvel movies and all that. So like if you put like Endgame on, your heart rate just goes up anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
might as well get something on.
Yeah. So it works. And then like if I just feel like I want to watch something, I'll just hop on the treadmill. So, and a lot of stationary bikes. So that's how I spent this past winter.
I find it hard for me to be able to focus on a screen as I'm running. Like maybe I got too much head bob or something, but it's like I'm trying to watch it and it's looking like this, and it's like making me dizzy. So I got look up and out. So like people read on the treadmill.
I don't know how people read on the treadmill. Yeah. At the gym, there's a dude that brings a book, an actual book.
Yeah.
He's not like scrolling on a Kindle or whatever. He's turning the page while he's running.
It's like sweaty hands, your fingers like you stick to the pages. How does that happen?
I don't know, but he's a gangster and he's there almost every day reading.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but yeah. So it's basically summertime is my time to get out and do it. And that's why I feel like I have a short amount of time to get a lot of running in. So I do longer distances than I maybe should.
This is so I think I've decided that I'm not going to do anything more than half marathons going forward. I think the grind of training for a full marathon or anything past that, like we got some absolute like psychotic people in Run Club.
Yeah.
That are doing 100-mile plus races.
Yeah, who would do that?
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I don't know, just training for a marathon, it's like, man, I got to do 17 today, 20 next week, and it's just too much.
Yeah.
I enjoy the half marathon. It's enough.
You got to work for it.
You still got to work for it.
Yeah.
But like, our normal runs, are in that 6 to 10 mile run. Mm-hmm. So really, what more do you need to do to prep for a half marathon?
Right.
If we're consistently going out 3, 4, 5 times a week and running 6 to 10 miles each time, you've got enough time on legs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just jump right into a half. The full marathon is just... So twice, my first half marathon was North Country Trail. And, so the joke is who's doing their first half marathon, and you raise your hand, and like you're the crazy person that's doing a trail run.
Now, was that a couple years ago? When did you first run?
4 years ago.
Okay.
And then last year I did the full marathon.
Yeah, I was in your chute.
And that was my first marathon.
Oh, ever. Oh, nice.
At North Country.
Yeah.
That crushed me, bro.
Yeah.
That crushed me, bro.
Yep.
I came through the last aid station, 3 miles to go. It's 5K to finish. I came to that. I had already thrown out my camel vest. I had taken off my shirt. I pitched that into the trash. I came to the last aid station, and I'm just like, and the volunteer goes, "Are you okay, dude?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, 3 miles to go.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I came out of that. Tom Bush was sitting on the ground waiting for me, like, when the hell is he coming through?
Yeah.
You ran a pretty good full marathon.
That day I did.
It took me a little 5 fucking hours. But because I can remember I was trying to do create content out of it. So I'm like, hey, I'm at like mile 5. I was feeling good. And then I'm like, hey, I'm at mile 15. I feel great. And then, dude, I stopped after that.
Yeah.
At about mile 17, I'm like, there's no way I'm going on. And
that is when the real content is made, though.
That's when I should have been like, oh, fuck, I can't finish this race. But I did. See, that's the stubbornness, though.
Right. Well, I think every runner's got a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That it's like no matter what. And out there is a different beast.
It's a different beast.
You gotta. Yeah. There's no. Your pride is. You gotta kind of put that aside. It is about just finishing, and you think you should be able to go faster, but
you just can't.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a mindset I take into any races. I just want to come across the finish line.
Right. That's a great mindset.
The whole point for me, it's the whole point of doing any of these things. It's like, all right, I want to finish. I want to do something cool. Mm-hmm. Every year, Bets and I are always like, do you want to do the North Country again? And then, like, that Saturday after you finish, you're on, like, okay, it looks like it's live for next year.
Yeah.
kicking myself a little bit for signing up for the half this year because I'm doing that Ironman. So I'm like, that's like 3 weeks after that. But
that's up in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which I did my first open water swim with Tom a couple weeks ago. And we did like 700 yards and we just breaststroked and talked. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. Because I've been swimming in the pool all winter.
You can talk and swim at the same time?
We could breaststroke and talk.
Nice. I would swallow so much lake water.
I swallowed it. But it was a nice confidence booster. And then I put the wetsuit on a few days ago and went out there and swam in that. And it's, have you ever swam in a wetsuit?
No.
This was I did a little practice just to see how it felt in man-made a couple weeks ago. And then just like 4 or 5 days ago, I put the wetsuit on and went out and did the same. We went from the furthest buoy all the way to the pier at 5th Avenue. It's about 700 yards.
Yeah.
And so I'm by myself, but there was Coast Guard. I saw the Coast Guard. I waved to him before I got in, and I saw some guys from the city. So I'm like, I'm going to go out there swimming. And it's so tight in my shoulders that the motion, this time I was freestyling, trying to see how I would do freestyling. And it felt good, did the swim, and then for the last 3 days, my pecs and my shoulders are friggin' torched. And I swam all winter long in the pool, but that open water swim, dude. So then I'm trying to figure out, okay, is this the real distance? Because times are always different. That times the distance on his Strava and his Apple and versus my Garmin.
We got to do a deep dive into Tom's Strava.
His Strava's crazy, dude. Like he did a swim, the same swim, and he's like, "Oh, I think I got my Strava figured out," and it was 1.5 miles, and he just went the same distance that I went.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, dude, that's not right." If that's right, then I've got the Ironman swim locked.
Right.
But I know that I have to do that like down and back like 3 times, and then I got the notification from Frankfurt Ironman with the course maps on it, and I'm like trying to figure out like, okay, like I'm getting in my own head. I can do the running and the biking.
Right.
The fucking swimming,
I think that's fair. Yeah.
The swimming is, and growing up on a lake, you'd think you'd be good at it.
There's a difference between like swimming and frolicking.
Yes.
You know what? I grew up frolicking.
I grew up frolicking too.
You run in the water and then you kind of bounce around, float for a minute, and then I get out. Oh,
God. And it's everybody I talk to that's done these races or is doing this one in particular. They're like, oh, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. They're like, will I, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the cool thing about the wetsuit, bro. I mean, I'm just, like, in the water floating.
Yeah.
That thing
kind of
keeps
holds you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's clutch. But I got to finish it in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's the cutoff. And my goal is to do it in like 45 minutes. So I got a lot of work ahead of me.
And then it's swim, bike, run?
Swim, bike, run, yeah.
I've worked it once. I was up there volunteering because Munson and Mary Freebed do a lot of the aid stations. And I had never seen an Ironman. I know what they are, but it's still, 70.3 miles, right?
Yeah.
And working one of those is pretty actually motivating too, because you have your elite runners that go by
first.
Yeah, and it's like,
scorched in the creek.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could sprint, and this is after and barely keep up with them, so it's impressive. But then it's even that, and then you never want to judge people.
Sure.
Right, but you see some people coming through that are cooking it, and you look at them and they don't look like an elite athlete.
No, I mean, my brother and sister-in-law did it a couple years ago, and I watched. Because you can watch the finish online. You can watch them come across the finish line. Yeah, no shade, but I'm like, wow, I feel like and that was my motivator. I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm in better shape. But it's not how you look.
Right.
It's how dialed you are on some of this stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's because you get all shapes and sizes and all ages.
Yeah.
And I was like at North Country last year in that marathon. This guy, I can't remember his name, but we follow each other now on Strava because he's got to be 70. Mm-hmm. And he came up behind me at one point and was like, hey, you're doing good. You got like 12 miles to go. And I'm like, 12 miles? See,
I've always been torn on that, but we can talk about that after.
So he passed me, and he finished way ahead of me, this older gentleman. Yeah. And so now I thought he's always running. He's probably been running a very long time. Mm-hmm. It's like riding a bike and going to hills. Mm-hmm. And it's taken me a few years to get comfortable getting up, using my momentum and getting up a hill. And I'm a whole different rider today than I was 5 years ago. It was always just fine, just keep pedaling straightaways or whatever, but the hills would just always dominate me.
Yeah.
I think it's the same for a runner.
Yeah.
The more time on legs, the more different terrains, the more I think your body just gets used to it. Mm-hmm. What were you going to say though?
Like when people, like you said, and the guy comes up behind you, hey, only 12 miles to go, and you're sitting here just like dying. It's like, I don't need to hear that right now.
Yeah, I don't need to hear that right now.
And I can understand, like, you can motivate and you can push, but then there's times where people are, 10 more miles, and it's like the guy at the aid station. You all right, man?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I thought I was, but I must not look it.
I don't look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, well, am I not all right?
Yeah, I actually made that mistake this past year in the marathon when we only had a couple miles to go, and we were cresting one of the final hills or whatever, and there was a gal in front of me, and she was just torched, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, I don't know if you've been out here before, but we literally only have like a mile and a half, 2 miles to go, and it's all downhill from there. And she's like, I'm doing the ultra.
Oh.
And I'm done. As soon as I get down, I'm DNFing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. I felt really bad for her because that's a big, anything up there, that even the half marathon, that's what I tell people all the time. I don't give a shit what distance you're running.
Yeah.
You're out there doing something hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I felt really bad for her. Yeah. Because I know she had a goal. She was going to do the ultra, right? And she was 25 miles in. And it's like, there's no way I could turn around and do another 25.
Yeah.
It just got him right here.
Yeah. Well, that's where it starts and ends. Yeah. It's up there, physically we can you train, you put all this time in. I think your body can do it. It's can you convince your mind to stay with it? And
I think you'll find the more you do this particular 5K in October, and if you decide to do a different one at a different time, the longer you, like for me, the longer I'm in it, the more I'm all about the finish line. Mm-hmm. And I don't, there are, like our marathon, I think it has to finish at like 2:30 in the afternoon. But like I know that there's a few people that are struggling with their health, or maybe they're a little overweight or whatever. I've talked to a few of them that are like walking the 5K, for example, and they're like, I don't know if we can finish in an hour. And I'm like, that mat is going to be on the ground until 2:30.
Yeah.
So I don't care if it takes you 6 hours to walk that 5K.
Yeah.
I want to see you come across the finish line. And that's kind of the approach I take with all the races up to the marathon. If you're signing up for a marathon, you've got 7.5 hours. Mm-hmm. You can get that thing done.
Yeah.
We have people that do walk the marathon, and they get it done under time. So,
which is amazing.
Yeah. Which is amazing, walking that. But we had gals last year that came up from I feel like it was like Georgia or something. And that's their thing. They walk marathons. And
I remember passing them on Lakeshore going north.
But they were like, well, we walk fast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. We let them start a little early. I think about an hour or so before the actual race, just to get out there and get after it. But yeah. This year, though, I will say this. I do have there will be a secondary check-in timing mat on the course, because, like I said, I want everybody to come across the finish line. But last year, I had to go out and check on a gentleman a couple of times. I mean, the salt sweat on him was insane.
Yeah.
He was our final finisher, but that guy did the entire route and finished. I know, because I was out there giving him the olive branch.
Yeah.
You can get in my truck, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, fuck no, I'm finishing this thing. It was his first marathon. But I watched a few athletes get picked up and get dropped off in Industrial Park, and then they came running in. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't like that. You're going to have to get checked.
Yeah.
So we're putting up a secondary mat on the course so that at least check in on that mat.
Don't tell anybody where it is, so they can't plan ahead.
Yeah.
They'll have stash cars.
It'll be inline race morning before you start. During the announcements, this is where you have to come across. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going to have it placed yet, but it's going to be, if you're running the marathon and you go all the way out to the turnaround, it'll be somewhere coming back that you got to cross over it. So we know that you've crossed over it and finished.
It's kind of tough too, because most people, you shouldn't be running I guess why would you try to cheat yourself? You should be running for yourself. You set the goal, you do it. I mean, there's friendly competition and there's things like that. But if you're cheating, if you have to get picked up halfway, and I understand medical reasons and everything, but
there's no shame in a DNF.
Right.
I firmly believe that there's no shame in a DNF. But you got to live. You got to sleep knowing that we might have put a medal around your neck and you didn't do the whole thing.
Right.
Which is, man, I couldn't sleep at night if I did that.
Yeah.
Again, there's no shame in a DNF because it's a community of runners and everybody's got your back. And,
without a doubt.
You can always train for the next one.
Right.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
It's tough, and we're hoping like this 5K, like you said, with the walkers, and we have pretty much an hour-ish allotted from the start of the 5K to the end of the timed portion, and then we start the memorial talk and then the memorial walk. And of course, if there's anybody that is concerned about finishing within that hour, if you do want to walk, if you're a slower walker, totally fine. We can either shorten the course or we can let you go early. So I don't want that to be a issue either, because it is about doing it. Being there and supporting the. We're not going to have any super big age awards. We're not trying to do any masters divisions, anything like that. It's strictly just to get out, show support, get some people together, and the race is secondary to the community involvement. Mm-hmm. It's just another thing for people to do. And so, don't worry about that. If anybody is concerned, we will not kick you off the course unless you really want to. But that's kind of the goal. And we're not doing any near distances like a half or a full like you are. So I can't imagine that being too much of an issue. But
no, you should be all right.
Yeah.
Our first year doing Run the Pier, like I'd never directed a race before. Mm-hmm. None of us have had at that time. And I think I said 45 minutes is when it's got to be. It's when it's got to be done because it's going to be dark. We were doing it over by North Channel, and the last group that came through were these ladies that were walking. And they were huffing, bro. Yeah. And they came across. Did we make it? I'm like, yeah, you made it. So that was like mistake number one. Okay, we got to give them a little more time because people do like to walk 5K. I mean, they like to walk marathons. Apparently. Yeah. So
you're getting out, you're doing stuff. Yeah. That's what it's all about. However, if you have to walk, doesn't matter how fast. If you have to run, doesn't matter how slow. Just.
That's what I like about trail running.
Yeah.
Because you can walk 70% of the time.
Yeah. You almost have to.
You're just out there walking. Like, I'm running. I walk every hill. I don't run any of the hills.
Yeah.
I got to conserve that energy when you're out there, and that's a great race.
Yeah.
That's a great race.
I'm signed up for currently the 50K this year. Yeah. I didn't want to say it in the microphone because now I'm like, I have to do it now.
Well, you're signed up, bro.
I'm signed up. I have a spot. Yep.
What's just 30 what?
31 miles.
Jeez, oh beans.
And this is one of those.
You can notch an ultra on your belt.
I don't know.
What's 50K, anything over a full marathon, it's an ultra.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. As soon as you do a 50K, you are in the ultra community, dude.
Oh, well, I know some ultra runners, and I am not in that community.
They will 100% back me up on that.
Okay.
As soon as you get into a 50K, you are an ultra runner.
Awesome.
Anything above a marathon is an ultra.
All right.
So congratulations.
Well, hey, I haven't crossed that line yet.
Well, when you do cross the line, congratulations. Are you doing that on Saturday, or is that
I think that's a Sunday one.
Sunday one?
50 miler, I believe, is a Saturday. And then the full marathon is that.
And
Yeah, I can't remember. But
yeah, they do the full Saturday and Sunday? Yes or no?
And they do the half both days. I think the full is only one. And then the 50 miler and the full are on the same day.
Gotcha. Yes.
I'll have to check the website. Saturday. All on Saturday.
Yeah, and then the 50K
50K and the 13.
And the other half.
And the other half, yeah.
That's the thing. I usually get there at about 5 a.m. because I love just watching everybody set up and people come in. Of course, get the spot for Run Club.
Yeah.
And the people that do the ultras, and I'm sure, Denny and Jason can attest to this. There's like the ones that look like a runner, and they got all the gear on, and then there's the ones that show. There were people last year, these gals that did the 50 miler. They had like, what are they, like tutus?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like little ballerina things around their waists and all this shit, and they did it. It's like it's just this weird. I mean, weird's not a good word. It's this, like, there's all kinds of people, and they're all a little bit crazy.
A little bit.
You got to be crazy to do that shit.
A little bit, yeah.
You have to.
It's the only way you can survive it.
Yeah. Yeah, and call it fun.
Yes.
You know, I hate running. My hate's a strong word. I don't really appreciate the run out there when I'm doing it. I really like the before, and I especially like the after. Everybody's finished. We're all together. Having a nice dark beer and hanging out. That's my favorite part. And Betsy's always like, hey, we got to go. And I'm like, just a couple more.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to hang.
Yeah.
I love the hang afterwards.
Everybody's you're pumped. Everybody's happy. You're exhausted physically, but
we've all done a hard thing together.
Yeah.
You know, we might not be together out there, but we've all done a hard thing together, which is, I think, is really rad.
Yeah. It really makes it worthwhile that way. And that's kind of just the hanging out before and the after.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. It's exactly why you do it. Well, you do it for your own personal motivation too, but having a few beers after a run is not a bad idea either.
Oh God, like I just look forward to it yesterday, Tom and I. But I really want to talk about Michigan State and everything too. So yesterday we went on like a 25-mile gravel bike ride, and we're maybe 4 or 5 miles away from finishing. And already in my mind was like, oh, a couple beers when we're done here. It's gonna be fun just hanging on the porch. So, I just look forward to that. That's all part of like the hang.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what's really cool about, you know, outdoor recreation with friends.
Yeah.
I'm a big solo trainer. Yep. But on the occasion that I do get together with everybody or a few friends and do something like that, there's always that little extra, like, we're in it together.
Well, yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah. You could say the run club's a drinking club with a running problem, or it's a drinking club that runs or something like that. Yeah.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah.
I like how it kind of balloons a little bit more in the summertime and more people show up. You know, I'm constantly like fighting a battle with myself. Like I got to find time to go to the club runs, and there's always like the way my schedule works, not to just blame my schedule, but like say Thursdays, the night run is kind of difficult for me in that it's right around like the family time, and we always eat dinner together, and so I'm not gonna sacrifice that unless there's something comes up and maybe the kids are gone or Betsy's got something going on, then I'll go. The Sunday runs are nice when I'm conditioned for them.
True.
You know, because I'm a firm believer in train slow to race fast. And the Sunday runs with some of the goats in our club. Yeah. I mean, I'm 2 minutes faster on those runs than I am when I'm training. Yeah. And I'm like, this is nuts, guys, but I do my best to keep up.
It's a little push. Yeah. You always got to be chasing someone, right? Makes you run faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the beauty of that club, though, is that you can not show up all year long, come to one event, and everybody's going to, like if you were there every day. You know,
right, exactly.
Yeah, the popping in and out. Because when I first started running, I was terrible attendance. Not that I'm that good now, but I would go very few events.
Sure.
Pop in and just hang out. And then the more you do it, the more it's like, it's pretty fun. It's nice to train with a group that's similar mindset. Everybody's motivating. You know, they don't care what you run. Doesn't matter the pace. Just do it.
You know, the cool thing about having a local run club, I love that we have this here, is, if you look at summer, for example, so we've got a bunch of people that spend their summers up here that are now in the club, and they're from other states and shit. Yeah. And they show up, and Dan Dean is a perfect example of somebody. Now, he was always in run clubs where he lived in the past before they lived up here. But when I first met Dan, he was like, the first thing I did when we came to Manistee was I tried to find if there's a local run club. And then bang. And now he's like running the thing. You know what I mean? Or he's board president or whatever. But and so he'll do that shit. He'll go to, if he goes out of town, he just looks on Facebook to see if there's a run club and if there's a meetup, and he'll go.
And he'll pop in.
Yeah. And that's the cool community thing about the run club that I really appreciate. Yeah. You know?
And I would assume, I hope, I guess, it depends on where you go, that runners are like that everywhere. I haven't really branched out many places other than here, and I don't really feel the need to, but, you know, the running community, I feel like the mindset's relatively the same no matter where you are, I'm hoping. At least that's what Instagram tells me.
Yeah, I like Instagram's my favorite.
It's pretty awesome.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole for me, though.
Yeah.
But so to dovetail on what you just said, that you don't have any like desire to leave it. You're here. You're in Manistee. You're a local guy, born and raised here. You left and went to Michigan State. Now, physical therapy is your discipline. Yeah. So is that something that you went there specifically to do? Sports medicine or?
Started my career with athletic training. Okay. Yeah. So I went there specifically for athletic training. And that was now it is a master's program. When I was there, it's just a 4-year bachelor program. So it's 2 years in like your general elective courses, and then you get 2 years in the athletic training program, which is where all the coursework is all designed for sports medicine, injury evaluation, treatments, rehabs, things like that. And then that's where you get to spend time with the teams. So they put you with a clinical rotation. So you go with, like I started my career with probably football, because most everybody goes through football once. Then I went to like track and field. I did a rowing, which is like you never would have thought rowing, but it's a D1 sport. So I did a thing with that, which is super interesting. Just a completely different athlete.
Sure.
But then I did a rotation with like basketball and baseball, and then finally a physical therapy clinic is where I spent my time. But
you sat on the bench.
I sat behind the bench.
Okay, so real quick story.
Yeah.
Michigan State, Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
Hoorah. I took my son to Michigan State, Michigan basketball game. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know you. Mm-hmm. I knew who you were, but I didn't know you. So this is a long time ago, dude.
2014? It was 2013, probably.
And we got to the stadium super early, so I could take him around, show him the court and shit. And actually, the staff there was amazing. They were like, "You want to come on the court and check it out or whatever?" Because we were super early, right? Mm-hmm. And then we were kind of up in the nosebleeds, and I don't know how we got down. I think somebody was like, one of the staff members like, "You want to sit over here?" So we were behind your bench. Yeah. Like a few rows. And I looked at Trent, and I'm like, I know that guy. Yeah. He's sitting. To me, you look like you were sitting right next to Tom.
Right.
But what was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. So, yeah, that rotation, we were with Michigan State basketball pretty much through the middle to the end of their season. And, yeah, we'd sit in all the practices, and you're working. You know, there is a little bit of shell shock, of course, anytime you see this guy that you saw on ESPN. Yeah. You know, and you're just like, whoa, it's right there. Yeah. You know, he says hi to you as you walk in the room, and you're almost like, can I talk to you or should I not? It was, but you get over that really quickly because you are there to learn, you are there to work, and then just, still an awesome environment though. I can't downplay that. Being able to sit there and, we were, like the players and everything were kind of like right in front of us, and we were just behind. The head athletic trainer, Q was his name, he would sit on the bench with them, and then should there be anything wrong, he would go out there. Gotcha. You know, if somebody goes down, Tom's not looking my way. I mean, I had a jersey underneath my suit just in case he needed me, right?
That would have been sick.
Yeah, just rip it off. Yeah. No, I would have died on the floor playing D1 basketball. Yeah. But it was awesome to, like on timeouts and everything, we'd walk out and we'd just make sure there was no anything that needed, basically like small blood scrapes, things like that, because you don't want somebody to have to come out of a game because they got blood on a jersey. Right. So that was what we did mostly. And then after games, practices and all that, we just did a lot of treatments. So in the training room, you'd meet them and work with the players, a lot of great dudes on the team. And once you kind of get past the whole D1 basketball player, they're all pretty cool, you know, and it just becomes part of your daily routine, I guess.
So you were at practices, taping ankles, all that stuff.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Never, well, the taping the ankle was kind of left for the staff members. They didn't really want students doing that naturally.
Sure.
It's a pretty big.
It's a big deal.
Big deal, yeah. But we got to practice on them. Like, so we would tape it and then cut it off and then tape it and cut it off. But if it was ever any sort of playing sport, they didn't want, you know, your star point guard going down because of a blister because I taped his ankle wrong. Yeah. Which I never did. But it was an awesome experience. And just seeing how, you know, the prep work that goes into these games and the time that they spend, there's all these grad assistants that help out. Like, you realize just how big of and this is just Michigan State, you know, this isn't it's a top program, but it's just one small program in the entire country, you know, so it's amazing the amount that goes into it. And being able to experience that was just awesome.
And did you want to stay in that lane? Like graduate and then be a head trainer at
somewhere? I thought about it. Okay. Trying to be the head athletic trainer somewhere, and it takes a long time to get there. So you would have to start, and I got super fortunate going to Michigan State and cherished my time there greatly. The athletic training program was wonderful. They were all great. But to get there, you have to go through your avenues. So if I graduated from there, you can get like a grad assistant somewhere. Usually you would have to go to a different school or a different part of the country, so Alabama or Oregon or whatever, to get into basically you start all at the bottom, and then you build your way up, and then you go to maybe a D3 school where you're the head person. Then you kind of have to ladder yourself up to that, which would involve a lot of moving, a lot of different things that I really wasn't fired up about. And again, I loved Michigan, loved living here, so I didn't really want to have to travel too far. And my thought was always trying to go into physical therapy at some point too. So I was just fortunate enough back when I graduated, I lived in Grand Rapids for a year, worked at East Kentwood School, which is, again, huge high school. So small college, really, it's what it seemed like. And then fortunate enough to move back to Manistee and work with the high schools here. And then even though in the back of my mind I knew that I've always wanted to kind of do that physical therapy role. But I like to get both sides, because I love sports, athlete myself in the loosest term, and I just wanted to be around it, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work to get to where the head people are, and I didn't care for it enough to have to put that work in, I guess.
I get it.
I advocate for the profession, though. I love athletic training. My classmates are all wonderful. Every athletic trainer is there to help people, just like physical therapy is, but it's a lot of work, especially at those D1 levels. You're traveling, your seasons, you're there, you're 80, 90-hour weeks because their season is never ending. Practices, games, prep work, treatments, you're there all day long. I think that's no matter where you go.
So out at Munson, physical therapy, one of the questions that I had for you was like, what's the one that you see, what's the one injury that you work on the most?
Yeah. We see, if I had to say, probably either back pain would be just generic back pain we get quite a bit of from a general population standpoint. And then I would say we get most like joint replacements. So we see a lot of hips, a lot of knees, and then you get some different things thrown in here and there, shoulder pain, knee pain, just generic things like that. But back pain is probably the highest that we have to see and deal with.
Is that more from, say, factory workers or more from people that are like sitting in an office chair most days?
Probably more that. And then
I knew it, dude. And I'm like, the sitting all day long.
Yeah. And then this area is higher in age. So our population is, to put it nicely, older.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the median age, I think, is like 32 or 33. So
yeah.
That means we've got a lot of older people.
We do.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're all great. Love all the old people that I work with.
Yeah.
But you learn doing it that the age doesn't necessarily play into a role as much as we think it should.
Okay.
And so it's just being active. So you see people that are up and doing things like the 70-year-old guy you were running with, There's people like that you see come in your doors in their 40s that look like they're in their 70s, and then flip it. You have 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds that are still walking every day. They go to the gym, and they're overall pretty healthy. So I can't advocate for mobility enough.
Yeah.
Just get your body moving.
It's a life lesson there, folks.
Right.
And, Bets and I were having this conversation this morning. We were talking about age and like the difference in some older and people that are the same age, like say 70 or approaching 80, and how this category right here has been, they work, they're moving, they're volunteering, they're getting out on walks or whatever, and they just look way younger, though they're the same age than this group over here that's, just kind of relegated their mind to being like, I guess I'm just old.
Yeah.
Did you see that 85-year-old that just did was it the Western? Oh, I'm going to get the race wrong. It was a 150-mile run. 85 years old.
Yeah. No, I did.
Looked great, dude.
Yeah.
He was just a little old dude. Obviously 85, just this little guy. Short hair and these big Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
His eyes were huge in it. Comes across the finish line. It was 250. It was something 250. It was 250 miles.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And he came across the finish line, dude, in 45 hours or whatever. They had to create a whole nother age category for him because he was so old. And he comes across and he's like, I want to thank my team. My granddaughter was helping me with all my nutrition, and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't do it without, this person. And I'm like 85 years old. And Betsy was like, hey, it's all in your mind.
Yeah.
If you think you're old, you're going to be old.
Yep.
This guy's just getting after it at 85, and you look great.
Yeah. And some people, obviously there are unfortunate circumstances.
Sure.
There's things you can't control. You get diseases, you get car accidents, you name it. But a lot of it you can. And it is a mindset. You got to get up and do it. And some people, I'm 50, I'm just going to be sore. It's like, well, sometimes yes, but other times it's like, what do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah. Do you sit around all day? Do you get out, try to move, do things? And I can't stress enough that you just keep your body moving. Diet's a huge part of it too. Just general, it's no secret. This isn't groundbreaking information.
No.
Exercise, eat right, you'll be healthier.
I eat right.
You
I
heard
just
it
eat
first
a lot.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm always like trying to lose a few more pounds to make everything that I do easier. And but I had 2 of those, and I probably should only had 1.
Yeah.
And
then it goes back to those post-run beers,
Oh God, the calories in those. I know.
And you're a dark beer guy, you said?
No, but that's that's the one. I'm not a huge fan of dark beer, but at the end of North Country, the Founders is one of the sponsors, so they always have Dirty Bastard. So I'll get. If I made a mistake one year, I didn't make the mistake. The bartender did. I caught it, but I was like, I'm keeping it. So they were supposed to just give you like a 6-ounce glass because it's like, 15, 16% ABV. And he gave me a full 16-ounce cup of the shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
So I felt it. As soon as I got done, I'm like, oh, man.
You're probably dehydrated.
Sure, but let's have a beer on top of it.
Yeah. A 17%er. Yeah, right after a run. Hey, it'll make you feel pretty good, won't it? Yeah. It's cool. But, my time at Michigan State, just to kind of wrap that up, was something else. I'm very fortunate to have had that experience, work with who I did, see who I did. And that's with any sport, it's amazing to see these athletes that are so honed into their craft. And whether it's basketball or rowing or baseball, there are some amazing people out there.
Yeah, and you almost, I would think that I would get a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Not jaded. That's not the right word. But there's got to be an awe aspect of walking into a facility, Michigan State that's got millions of dollars backing its athletic program, and to see the equipment at the facilities, everything that they have to offer, to work in that environment, it's almost like having dessert all the time is what I would, if that makes any sense. But not everything's like that, obviously.
Right. Depends on where you go.
Yeah.
And it is a complete, and I've never worked in a lower level college, but I have worked in, high schools and did rotations in high schools. And you learn to work with what you have. You have to find ways around. Some machines you need, some equipment you need, but you try to rely on your hands as much as you can and just try to learn these different manual techniques that you don't need anything for, especially if you're traveling. If you're on a road trip with somebody, you're not bringing a bike. Well, they do bring bikes, I guess, but certain things you're just not going to throw on the plane.
Right.
And you have to find ways around it. So a little creativity, which makes it fun to me too.
Yeah.
I don't like doing the same thing every day. I try to come up with different ways to challenge people, athletes or not. Everybody's an athlete, I guess. There's just different levels of it.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I consider it. That's why I always use the term athlete when I talk about the people that do any of our events.
Yeah.
Because they are athletes.
They are.
I don't care if they're just doing it on the weekend.
Right.
So they're getting after it. One last question, one thing that I wanted to make sure that I asked is, do you have any success stories? Not giving any names or anything like that. We don't need to do that here. But if you had somebody come in that you had to work on, whether it was hip, back, shoulders, whatever, and they were really bad, anything like that, where it's like, man, this person's doing way better now.
Yeah.
And it's because of the help that I provided.
Yeah. Numerous. It's hard to nail down just one.
Okay.
There's numerous people, and I think anybody that works in physical therapy or any sort of rehab facility, nursing, doctor, medical, of the like. I think they can give you some good stories because that's why you do what you do.
Yeah.
And you find those people that you see come in a wheelchair, can't do anything, and then, you work with them months down the road and they're up walking. And yeah, it's hard to name just one, but there's so many people that you're there to improve lives, make them better, get them doing what they want to do. And yeah, there's a lot of them that I could pick, and I can't nail down just one.
Sure.
But
how many times are you like, have you been doing the exercises I told you to do at home?
Yeah.
And you're not doing it?
Yeah. Usually you can pretty much tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to give away all my tricks to figure out if people are doing them or not. But
I had a pretty severe impingement. I mean, to the point where I thought, before I went to physical therapy, that I was like, I had a broken something,
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor was like, well, let's get an x-ray or whatever. And it was just like, I just can't do it. I actually went to, I can't remember the gal's name. Oh, because I had some back pain too. And I had like, what do they call it, dysplasia or whatever? Or is it like the bottom? Anyways, got great treatment. Went through all the exercises at home.
Yep.
And it's been years and I haven't had any problems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went and saw a specialist that was like, well, we can do surgery. I'm like, no way, dog.
Right.
I'm not getting cut up.
Right.
Nope, not doing that. I'm too young. But anyways, to the impingement, had a couple sessions with in physical therapy, and the exercises, like I'm like, I really have to do these at home.
Yeah.
But just a little, like the towel and all that shit,
Yep.
I mean, within like 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
of just making sure that I did those exercises once or twice a day was, it's a PSA.
Yeah.
If your physical therapist says do these at home and then come back, do them at home.
Yeah.
Even the little things. I thought I was going to have like reconstructive surgery because it was so painful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still do them. If I get a little twinge or whatever, like I was telling you about that swim earlier, my shoulders and up here were just scorched, and I just made myself, do those same exercises. And
Right.
it started to help. So.
And that's the hard part, is that we all want a quick fix.
Right.
We want it to be, take a pill, we're fixed, we're better.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the case. Vast majority it's not. It's your body doesn't develop these issues overnight. It takes oftentimes longer to fix them than it does to get them sometimes, and it's hard to keep people motivated to keep up with it when the progress might be slow. And even I think that applies to all facets of life. You can't focus on the where do you have to go yet. You got to look at where you've come from.
Yep.
And where you are. You want to have the goals, but at the same time, it takes a day in, day out commitment, and I'm lazy. I'm probably my worst patient that I have to work with. If I have something wrong, especially runners though.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this Achilles tendonitis.
Yeah,
I should just take a week off. Yeah. That's like blasphemy. So you don't, but it is. It's you just got to be committed to it and try to do your things every day, whether it's a stretch, whether it's an exercise with a band, or it's frustrating how frequent you have to do some things sometimes, especially in the cases of shoulders or back pain, or because we're always doing stuff. Even like runners, you're always running.
You're right.
So it's like you want to keep doing that, but you're also never giving yourself the time to heal.
I saw a great video yesterday. I think it was Annie Fuller.
Great runner.
Oh God.
Yeah.
She's a beast, dude. Mm-hmm. She had this like little reel where she was like starting to, and she looked down, and then like the caption was, when you've been running on an injury for 6 weeks or whatever, and then all of a sudden it doesn't hurt, and she's like, haha, and took off running again. Because that's true. That's what runners do. They're like, oh, my knee hurts. I got to go for a 10-miler today.
Yeah.
Just run it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes you can really hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So you really got to listen to your body. Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
Yeah.
All right, dude. October 4th, what's the name of the race again?
Run the Town Pink.
Run the Town Pink. Once all of the links and everything are available, I'll drop those into the show notes. Mm-hmm. I don't know when I'm going to put this out, probably next week. So even if you don't have them by then, I'll come back and put it in. But then I'll pump that bastard out there. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Run the Town Pink.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're hoping it's going to be a great event. Really do want to keep doing it year in and year out. And community support for this area is just so awesome. I can't, appreciate that enough. And great team working at Munson that's helping promote it between the foundation and then all of the staff that we work with to try and work with the city and work with the DDA. And we want everybody to be on the same page with this. We want everybody to be involved. Businesses downtown. Our goal is to have, hopefully hundreds of people walk down River Street as a part of this memorial walk. We'd love to have businesses literally painted windows, glasses. I think homecoming is sometime around that too.
Pretty close.
Yeah, so there might be a lot going on down at that time.
Good.
Right. We want more people downtown. We want people to walk by the businesses, and we'll do our best to try and promote the city, promote the community as well as we can, and wear pink if you come. That's the biggest thing.
This is the type of shit I'm always talking about, and we got some really rad humans in Manistee, and you're one of them too. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it so much. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.